two-time and defending ATV Grand National Cross Country Champion Walker Fowler has been as dominant as it gets in 2017. He's won from the clay, to the dust, to the rocks, to the sand. Only the mud was able to trip him up in an upset at our last race. Is it time for a new streak to begin? Hello and welcome to NBCSN's continuing coverage of the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series and AMA National Championship. Today, Dunlop Tomahawk GNCC in upstate New York, not far from the historic Watkins Glen Road Racing Facility. I'm Jason Wygant, your host, of course. And on the course, riders surveying much better conditions today than our last race. Here's your AMSOIL recap. The X Factor in Indiana. Now this race was actually delayed because of heavy rains. A few weeks later we came back and it rained again. Landon Wolf, young contender in the class with the number 7, led early. Walker Fowler right behind him in second. But on crazy days in the mud, you never know what's going to happen. It's tough on men and machines, and it opened the door for a surprise winner. Now Walker Fowler, your defending series champ, no surprise. He led most of the day. Here he is stopping in the pits for goggles, for fuel. But Johnny Gallagher, a 23-year veteran of the series, was on his heels the entire way. Gallagher's always been good in the mud. He makes a pass in the last lap and wins his first ever GNCC overall. Again, after 23 years of trying. Adam Mcgill rounds out the podium. Here is Johnny G, one of the most popular riders and now a race winner.
Yeah, I mean, I think it set in pretty quick for me. The actual impact of the win or the settling in of it having happened, I think happened pretty much right away, but kind of the, I guess the build up to it took a while to settle in, the fact that it had been 23 years and all the effort, all the sacrifices, all the mistakes, everything, all the decisions that led to that day. That was kind of what I thought about more than the actual win itself. If anything, I kind of feel like it just was a little bit of justification or you know, realization of all that effort was for sure definitely worth it. Not that I ever really doubted it was, but it just reaffirmed the fact that everything I've ever done to get to that day was definitely worth it.
Nobody lives, eats, sleeps, breathes GNCC racing like Johnny Gallagher. That is awesome to see him finally get a victory. And we're underway here in New York. Battle for the hot cams. Whole shot is going to be Landon Wolf putting that number 7. Lucky 7 up front again, second race in a row. Marty Kristofferson, a rookie, right there with him. And Kristofferson is a local threat. Now you see we had the helmet cam here on Adam Mcgill. Not a great start for him. And whenever we come to upstate New York, be it here or in Unadilla later in the season, look at all the rocks. A constant factor at this race, and that hurts when you're buried back here. Man, the intensity early in these races. It's a 2-hour event. They're going at it like it is a motocross. We'll show you how Landon Wolf got that hole shot on the GBC Motorsports Canyon Racing Fly Racing machine. He had the jump on Kristofferson. Kristofferson faster at the end of the straightaway, but he was on the outside. So Wolf in the lead. How about these two young guns, the Pennsylvanian, Wolf leading Kristofferson from right here in the Empire State, New York. And then comes the veterans, Chris Borch leading this pack. Saw Mcgill did not have a good start, and Fowler didn't either. So this will make things interesting for certain. And we'll see how long the kids can hold on. There has been a definite youth movement in GNCC, but we're still waiting for one of these kids to finally get a win. A lot of podiums out of a group that's been here for a few years, and then Kristofferson and Wolf just getting started in their professional careers. We'll see how far they can go today with the lead. You know that this veteran pack, Borch, Mcgill, Fowler, the guys who are normally up front of these races, are going to be a factor before it's over. And there's our man Johnny Gallagher on the lucky 13, right in the hunt. But right now it's the kids. Landon Wolf and Marty Kristofferson still there in second. We'll see if the lack of experience can be made up for. He's got the home track today, so maybe the fans pump him up. He's also got the power of the beard.
You know, I was fortunate enough to have a really good finish here last year, and you know, I think I had my best overall of the year. I think I finished 6th. So if I could, you know, get another 6th or even do a top 5 this weekend, I'd be real happy with that. You know, it's also cool just being so close to home, because I didn't even take a vacation day from work yesterday. I worked, drove here right after work, and I was still here about as early as I normally get when I'm traveling across country, so it's great.
Marty back by Dillinger's Celtic Pub, GBC Motorsports, and Moose Racing. The pub, now that will be a place to celebrate if he can put it in the top 5 today. And I would assume it's not that far from here because he is, again, the local rider. But he's got to get around Landon Wolf right now, and those little rocks we saw from the Adam Mcgill helmet cam earlier, nothing compared to this. And this game has changed so much. All these riders running what they call tire balls, which is a series of inflatable inserts inside the tires, almost like having a bunch of basketballs within the tire. It's essentially made these machines flat proof, and even if you do flatten one of them, well, you still have essentially 9 of the 10 balls still have air, so you can barely even notice. Back in the day, these riders had to be gingerly through these sections. Now they can hammer on the uphills. Serious business out on the track, but GNCC Racing is all about the camaraderie off of it, and everyone having a good time in our first visit of this season to upstate New York. The question is, who's going to win it? Stay with us.
When it comes to guarding your diesel engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance you demand. AMSOIL Signature Series diesel oils provide 6 times more wear protection than required by a leading diesel engine manufacturer. Give your hard-working truck the protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection. See the whole line of diesel products at amsoil.com/diesel.
As riders and racers, we understand the need to get quality parts, apparel, and accessories fast. We have the horsepower of multiple warehouses to make sure your gear, OEM parts, or accessories make it to your door quickly. Check out our easy-to-use website and experience customer service that takes the whole shot. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Here he is, Walker Fowler, Grand National Cross Country XC1 Pro Class Champion.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATVMC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires, keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
Landon Wolf got the whole shot today on the number 7, and he continues to lead here at the Dunlop Tomahawk GNCC. But Walker Fowler is up to 2nd. He was 4th before the break. He's gotten around Marty Kristofferson and Chris Borich. Oh, you don't want Walker Fowler behind you, no doubt about that. And it looks like Adam Mcgill making moves, and he's got the number 5, Bryson Neal, with him. Those are 2 fast runners, so they're trying to follow Fowler through traffic. How long can the kid hold on, or can he get all the way to the end? Landon Wolf is certainly going to learn a lot at the hands of the new master of the game, Walker Fowler. Oh, and Mcgill trying to make a move on Borich. Let's see if this line pays off when the track hooks back together. No, Borich able to get in front. And Mcgill going to have to continue to work, trying to catch Walker Fowler.
You know, Walker's been riding good all year, and we're coming up to the tracks that I seem to do well at. You know, snowshoe's one of them. This place we really don't excel greatly at, but we're definitely going to change around this year. And you know, the season, for the most part, has been coming around, and you know, he definitely got a good points gap, but anything can happen. I mean, we've run a 27 point gap down last year to, I think it was 3, and then had an issue. But you know, it is what it is. It's racing. If racing was easy, we'd just call it winning, and everybody could do it, right?
That's right. And Landon Wolf is going to be the one to try to make it look easy today. Fowler is there, but not quite close enough to make a pass. And Marty Kristofferson staying in the hunt. Chris Borich. Mcgill, hooting and hollering. Bryson Neal, Coastal Racing, and the ATVRiders.com back. Jared McClure coming through next. That appears to be the Fast 7 today. Flying information. Back on with Mcgill. Oh, a gnarly uphill and a new line. Uh-oh. Oh! Trying to get over that log, and now he's gotten it locked up. Well, you can see that line wasn't going to work out. Still stuck. Got to get to the bottom of the hill to find some running room. And did I also see the 7 of Landon Wolf go back by him? So he must have had problems. Somehow Wolf was behind Mcgill by the time we got to that helmet cam shot. So let's review it and reset it. It's Fowler, Kristofferson, Borich, Neal, there's Wolf. McClure got by. And finally, and more problems for Mcgill just trying to get it in between those trees. And Josh Merritt there in the 10, staying in it. Let's take you through this again. This is why I had to make the sharp turn. Just missed the line by about an inch, and then that leads to being about a foot off. But now McGill's cranking it up, trying to get around Jared McClure. Oh, nice little line here on the left, and he gets it. Man, that is the aggression. That's not fast forward. This is real time. But all that hustling that Mcgill is doing, Fowler is getting away. Now that Landon Wolf has had his problems, let's see if Kristofferson or Borich can keep him in sight. Oh, big braking bump on the downhill. That leads to a little bicycle action there on 2 wheels. Fowler takes a look and makes sure that despite that mistake, his lead has not dwindled one bit. Got to be happy with that. And he keeps on motoring. Back on board with Mcgill, trying to work over McClure. Some of the best helmet cam footage we have ever seen. Drill rod right now for Mcgill, and also that piece of grass stuck to his helmet visor. Oh, mistake by McClure. Mcgill all the way up to the corner of the grass. Oh, and another mistake by McClure. Here's the opening. Power down, and Mcgill is by. Takes a look over and a wave also. Here's the replay. I don't know what kicked McClure there. He was able to save that one, but not this time. That wasn't a kick. Just slid too much. Couldn't get traction with the rear tires. That would be oversteer in car racing terms, or being loose as opposed to tight. Fowler, no problems. Working his way on in. Been a long road for Fowler, a former youth and amateur champion in GNCC to get to this point. As for Marty Kristofferson, it's going to be one of those overnight sensations that feels like it took a lifetime to make happen.
GNCC is Old Eagle, 50 cal, cowboy boots, diesel trucks, Copenhagen, Bush Light kind of men.
Evans waterless coolant is the solution to boiling over, so you can push your vehicle like this, and this, and this, without fearing the temperature gauge. Evans waterless coolant. Defeat the heat.
Hey guys, I'm Tim Geiser riding for Honda Garibaldi Racing Team, and we are using Evans cooling, and I know that when I use that products, I know that my bike never will overheat, so I'm really happy with it.
Are you looking for a dirt bike piston that can increase power and decrease blow-by? Then check out Wiseco's all-new Racer Elite piston line. Racer Elite has been used exclusively by the pros, including RCH, Yoshimura, Suzuki Factory Racing, and are now accessible to the public. Available for popular 250 and 450cc dirt bikes, the Racer Elite series is the first off-the-shelf asymmetrical power sports piston ever made. Its fully machined billet aluminum construction features an exclusive custom lap top ring. Step up with dyno-proven power gains with Wiseco's Racer Elite piston line.
Racer TV's coverage of Grand National Cross Country Racing continues. We're watching ATVs today. We'll give you the highlights of our bike race that also took place during the weekend. Josh Strang, the Australian on Rockstar Husqvarna, gets the whole shot. All Balls Racing money coming his way, but there's Caleb Russell, your defending series champ, right behind him. And Russell would get into his customary position up front, but then he had problems. A bent shift lever. And also just a lot of competition. Thad Duvall, Strang, and a resurgent Ryan Sipes, who missed some time earlier in the season, were in there. And now you see Caleb getting that shift lever repaired, Strang able to take the lead. Strang had been dealing with a foot injury all year, then starts to run into trouble, and Ryan Sipes able to get the lead. So awesome to see Sipes back on his game and back up front. Has still never won one of these things. Battle continued to rage between a trio of Husqvarna riders, not just Sipes and Strang, but Duvall, who would get by both. Duvall very much sees himself as a title contender. He won the last race in the mud, the X Factor in Indiana. Caleb Russell, your points leader, had problems there. He wins this one in the dry. Caleb Russell has problems again. That means a whole lot more points for Duvall, who started the bike season with a DNF at the first race of the year. So he is on the comeback trail for sure. Walker Fowler, he knows that could be his fate as well. Anything can happen at any time in rough races like this. So he is trying to add some insurance, build up as big a lead as possible. Adam Mcgill coming by now to second. So Mcgill, all that work has paid off. He's gotten around these guys and has gotten to second. But is there enough time for him to run Walker Fowler down? He's got to hope for a mistake, or maybe lap traffic gets in there. So here's Walker walking away with it. Fowler out of Rogers, Ohio. Ohio, a hotbed for off-road racing, be it on dirt bikes or ATVs. And Mcgill has to toss the neck brace aside. Here comes the old master, Chris Borch, still in the hunt. Now in the olden days, Borch would just be setting these guys up for a last lap pass. He's still got what it takes, I believe, to win one of these things, but it has been the majority of the wins going to Mcgill and Fowler. Let's see if Borch can keep it close today in the woods of New York. And a little assistance there from a lap rider who points him away from himself. Wow, sun shining down on the track, but still tons of mud down here. That's Mcgill. The gap is closer, but there are 3 lap riders between he and Fowler, and you can see what lap traffic does. Hard to see when you're getting roosted. Not from lack of trying today for Mcgill, pushing super hard. Gonna get around a lap rider here and wave as he goes by. I'm trying to tell if that is Fowler just ahead. It must be, yes, because now, yeah, he's right there. He has completely closed the gap down to nothing and is even finding some running room in these corners. So Adam Mcgill on the gas. So neither of these two got good starts today, but Fowler's was a little bit better. So Mcgill has had to work even harder to get there. And you can see they're really pushing. Little mistake for Fowler between those two corners. And I like how Mcgill is able to round off and run the insides here, but not lose too much speed. It's easy to go to the inside, but then by the time you're at the exit of the corner, a lot of times you're slower. But it appears to be working for Mcgill right now, not having to go to those big berms in all of the turns. Right there, though, they want it. They both go as far wide as they can. these two have been friends and frenemies and rivals, you name it, for a long, long time. I remember 10 years ago getting a postcard. These two riders and a couple of their buddies took a vacation to the beach together because they would hang out even when they didn't have races. But now they've become the top two in this series. There is no love lost, certainly respect, but they want to beat each other in the worst way. And here comes Mcgill, he's got that opening. Again, using those insides to perfection, he almost made the pass. He's got another one here, and he's got it made. Collision over the top of that hill. Back on board. Looks like Fowler able to hold him off, but for how long? Another inside line. They come together. Great racing here in New York. Grand National Cross Country Series. Here's your Rocky Mountain ATV MC results. With a lap to go, Fowler and Mcgill duking it out again.
Are you looking for a dirt bike piston that can increase power and decrease blow-by? Then check out Wiseco's all-new Racer Elite piston line. Racer Elite has been used exclusively by the pros, including RCH, Yoshimura, Suzuki Factory Racing, and are now accessible to the public. Available for popular 250 and 450cc dirt bikes, the Racer Elite series is the first off-the-shelf asymmetrical power sports piston ever made. Its fully machined billet aluminum construction features an exclusive custom lap top ring. Step up with dyno-proven power gains with Wiseco's Racer Elite piston line.
We handle your races, your jumps, and your trails. Isn't it time you give your daily driver the same love? AMSOIL's Signature Series Synthetic Motor Oil delivers 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard. AMSOIL also offers a full family of ATV, UTV lubricants, giving you above and beyond fortification for your weekday and weekend vehicles. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. The all-new from the ground up 2018 Yamaha YZ450F is now available at LoJack Cycle Sales. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service and 15 national championships, we know racing. So stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZ. It's why we ride.
Over the river and through the woods, the newest Polaris models are here for the holidays. Take home great deals on the world's best-selling side-by-sides and ATVs during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires. Keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
What you just saw there was a series of clips just this morning of Mcgill and Fowler joking around with each other, but no joking now as Mcgill has come all the way back to not only catch Fowler, but now pass him and take the lead. We cannot tell much from this helmet shot any longer. Oh, and there goes Fowler back by. Oh, phenomenal racing and fun to watch. And the Fowler crew's pumped. A clutch move to get the lead. Doesn't need to pit on this lap. Just gets the hose set up there so he can catch a drink. And what happened to Mcgill now? He's lost a ton of time. That extra hard charge I think he put in might have taken some steam out. Let's see if Mcgill can ramp it back up one more time. And he has. He's closed it back up. And look at the hustle from Adam Mcgill, making a great race of it today. Down to the creek. That's a lap rider getting out of the way. And another one. This is Fowler right through the middle. And Mcgill right with him. So good job, folks, getting out of the way to let these two duke it out. And they pulled far, far ahead of everyone else. Oh, Fowler walking that fine line right now. We hear he actually tagged a tree earlier when he's pushing the pace. Now trying to be a little bit smoother and more conservative. Remember, Mcgill had the line on this uphill earlier, but he ended up getting stuck on a tree and losing time. So he's sticking to the same line that Fowler uses. And this guy is always pumped, even when he's running second. Fist pumping, hooting, hollering. But I think out of time. So Fowler, he got the challenge put to him, no doubt. Had to re-rack it, ramp it back up, get back around Mcgill to take the lead. Mcgill, this is the second time he had caught him. Will there be a third challenge for the lead? Or does Fowler have this one? He's got it. He's headed for pay dirt. And the two-time series champ from Rogers, Ohio, looking for another victory today in upstate New York. And he's got it. Ricky Towery, the flagger, has the checkers out. Walker Fowler wins a dramatic one here in New York. What a run by Adam Mcgill, but he's going to come up just short after 2 hours of racing. But boy, did they put on a show for the fans today. Landon Wolf, solid in 5th. Kristofferson, 9th. Here's your Maxis winner interview.
Yeah, it was a good race. Adam hung right in there every time I could get a little bit of a lead. I either made a mistake or there was a lot of bikes on the track and a lot of lap traffic. So it definitely it bit both of us multiple times. And in the end, I think I came out on top and he was right there behind me. So it was a good race for the fans. A little closer than I like, but it was the nature of the beast today.
Here's your AMSOIL race recap. Mcgill making moves, even banging wheels here with Fowler to try to get the lead. And then he would get it. And then he had lap traffic to deal with. And Fowler ramped it back up. Fowler was able to repass him. And they battled all the way down through the last lap, even through the Badlands here, this nasty, rocky, muddy section. But then one more mistake through lappers gave Fowler the lead that he was hoping for. A little bit of a cushion to deal with coming across the line. It was certainly more dramatic than this a lap earlier when he lost the lead, but he takes the win. Now, one other thing we want to show you here as Mcgill comes across in second. Bryson Neal scratching for points. How tough is this guy in the Coastal Racing Machine? He actually lost a tire, literally, not a flat tire, but it was broken off of the hub. And watch, he's going to lean on the left side of the machine. Some help from his crew, but he has to ride it through the finish line himself. He finishes 13th. Here's your runner-up, Adam Mcgill.
Nah, everything was good, man. I mean, we rode good. Everything went well. Ended up passing there on the last lap. He bobbled. I actually got him on camera. Hopefully, he clipped a tree, flipped it on its side. We got in some lappers in the field section. He blazed through one of the mud holes. I was like, I don't know if he's going to hang on to it because it spun sideways. And I mean, we was right there all day. And I stalled it there at the end, and it didn't want to refire real quick, and we got it going. And I think we closed the gap down. I think it said 5, but he pulled me there, and we just run out of time. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Well said, Adam Mcgill, and congratulations to Walker Fowler. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant.